Hi everyone, I'm Pali Bhat and I'm excited to be with you virtually from my living room. Today I'm going to share with you a helpful new program that will enable you to accelerate application development and innovation with Google Cloud. With the onset of the pandemic, this is becoming more important than ever before. Over the past few months, nearly every company I've spoken to has been looking to accelerate their move to the cloud, with cost optimization and business innovation being the key drivers. While getting your VMs into the cloud is a great start, you can drive a lot more innovation and increase overall business value while staying secure and reliable for your users. You can do this by modernizing both your applications and modernizing your processes. With the growth in demand through digital channels, the timeline for this modernization has been accelerated across every industry. Adapting to changing customer needs quickly via modernization is more crucial than ever before and will enable companies to thrive and succeed in this new reality. Google is built on capabilities and practices that have enabled us to meet changing customer needs by deploying code to production many times a day across our products. I've personally had the opportunity to observe this firsthand while working on planet-scale systems that serve hundreds of millions of users. To give you a sense of Google's scale, we deploy 4 million plus builds and run 500 million plus test cases daily, and we process 2.5 exabytes in logs every month by parsing over 14 quadrillion metric points. It's no wonder that products like Google Search have become the dial tone of the internet. I can hear you saying, sure, Google can do that, but is it even possible for my company and my team? So we set out to better understand where each industry is in this journey and what developers, operators, and security teams care about most. We polled over 30,000 professionals from every industry and from companies both large and small. And consistently, we see that any company in any industry can transform to be faster and more innovative, while also providing reliable and secure services to their customers. Our data shows that some companies have managed to transform further than others. The top tier of these companies, those whom we call elite performers, deploy code 200 times more frequently than low performers, while only having a seventh of the change failure rate. They've achieved both speed and stability. The good news is that practices leading to such excellence in application delivery, which result in powerful business outcomes, can be both learned and replicated. In fact, from 2018 to 2019, the proportion of elite performers almost tripled, showing that excellence isn't just feasible, it's being attained by a growing number of companies around the world. It's a powerful clarion call for all of us. Those companies that don't become excellent at building, running, and securing applications at an elite level are very likely to fall behind. The path to elite performance is not about implementing a one-size-fits-all app modernization model. Rather, you need to make incremental continuous improvement based on your organization's needs. To be successful, you need to start with a deep understanding of where you stand and where to focus so you can maximize the impact of your modernization effort. And to help you with that, based on both our research and our experience at Google, I'm excited to announce the availability of the Google Cloud Application Modernization Program, something that we like to call Google Camp. Google Camp has 3 main components to give you a clear path to becoming an elite performer. First, we give you a data-driven baseline assessment so you can build a tailored modernization program that's right for your team and your business. Then, we give you a blueprint with a specific set of proven DevSecOps practices that you can start using today. Finally, you have a modern yet extensible platform that enables you to build, run, secure, and manage both legacy and new applications. Let's take a deeper look under the hood at each of these. The first element of Google Camp is the assessment, which lets you identify quick wins to accelerate application delivery. And it'll work across all application types. So whether you're working on a Kubernetes application, a serverless application, or even a mainframe application, this assessment helps you identify the right levers to pull to improve your app delivery. Because this assessment is data-driven and tailored to your specific needs, you get prioritized guidance highlighting which capabilities you need to focus on to ensure that your modernization investments have the maximum business impact. The second component of Google Camp is the blueprint, with a tailored set of proven DevSecOps practices. These practices cover the entire gamut of the application lifecycle, from writing code to running, operating, and securing applications. The final component of Google Camp is the application platform. This extensible platform enables you to build, run, secure, and manage both new and legacy applications. The platform has been built from the ground up to support modern cloud-native principles like shifting left on security, fast feedback on changes, gradual rollouts, and rapid elasticity. We cover every aspect of the application lifecycle with solutions like Anthos, Cloud Code, Cloud Build, Cloud Run, Google Kubernetes Engine, and CloudOps. These solutions work seamlessly with tools you already use and enable you to pursue an incremental approach to modernization. We'll dive into these solutions later in the keynote, but first, let's see how customers are already benefiting from Google Camp. MediaMarktSaturn is the largest electronics retailer in Europe with over 1,000 stores. The team at MediaMarktSaturn leveraged Cloud Run to drastically drive up their application delivery speed and meet customers' demands during COVID-19. I had an opportunity to chat with Dr. Johannes Wechsler, Managing Director at MediaMarktSaturn Technology, to tell us more. Welcome, Johannes. Thank you so much for being with us today. To start us off, can you tell us more about what your team does for MediaMarktSaturn?
Thanks for having me, Pali. My team is part of MediaMarktSaturn Technology, which provides all the technology we use online, in our 1,000 stores, and in our back office.
That's a lot of stores. As you leverage technology at this scale, can you please tell us what's going on in retail during this unprecedented time?
We clearly see more and more customer spend shifting to e-commerce, particularly during COVID-19, where also our stores were temporarily closed. Between April and June this year, we saw a 145% traffic increase across our digital channels. We've responded to this by modernizing our web shop as well as our apps using Google Cloud. This has allowed us to scale and made us the third largest e-commerce retailer in Germany, which is fantastic.
Yeah, congratulations on a tremendous scale. So how have you responded to changing customer needs?
We want to give customers more choices on how to shop with us, particularly by linking online and offline. Already before Corona, 50% of our online orders were picked up in stores. During Corona, we evolved this towards a contactless curbside pickup. In addition, we implemented ship from store. We used our temporarily closed stores as warehouses to increase our fulfillment capacity and reduce waiting times for our customers. Up to a third of all online orders were fulfilled from stores during COVID. All of this makes me believe that omnichannel retail is the winning formula for the future.
Yeah, I certainly agree, Johannes. A shift to e-commerce along with omnichannel shopping is certainly here to stay. Your team has been using Cloud Run extensively to meet these needs. How has Cloud Run helped you?
Thanks to Cloud Run, we've been able to introduce new applications and features up to 8 times faster. Cloud Run abstracts all the infrastructure management and removes the need to have dedicated resources for infrastructure. In addition, you only pay for Cloud Run when you use it. So when there's no traffic coming to an application, Cloud Run automatically scales down to 0, and so does our computing bill. All of this has helped us achieve a 40% cost reduction.
Wow, you're moving 8x faster along with a 40% cost reduction. That's the type of elite performance you can get with Google Camp. Thanks, Johannes, for sharing how MediaMarktSaturn is partnering with Google Cloud in your application modernization journey.
Thanks for having me, Pali.
If you want the type of results that MediaMarktSaturn has gotten with Google Camp, then a critical ingredient is your team. Developers, operators, and security professionals are the heroes that make app modernization possible at any organization. To share more about how Google Camp empowers your DevSecOps teams to build better software faster while improving their own productivity, I'd like to introduce Aparna Sinha, Director of Product Management on my team.
Hi everyone, I'm Aparna Sinha. I hope you're staying safe and using this time to brush up on your cloud DevSecOps skills. The good news is that everything we're announcing today makes it easier for you to start developing. These skills are more important than ever before because the macro environment has accelerated IT transformation. That means developers are in the room where it happens. Our research shows that doing well in business today requires new digital channels, a great online user experience, and continuous product innovation. In fact, elite teams deploy software 200 times more frequently than others. And their changes are 7 times more reliable. Do you want to know their secret? It's twofold. First, elite teams take the pain out of development and deployment, making it extremely easy to build and deploy applications. Developers concentrate on application code and they test more frequently without worrying about infrastructure setup and scaling. Second, these teams ensure that security and operations people sleep well at night. They proactively ensure reliability, security, and compliance, reducing the risks that can come with increased developer velocity. Google Camp can unlock both of these secrets for you. And today, I'm excited to announce a new integrated developer experience that makes it easy for anyone to write code and run it in the cloud, from development to production. We've integrated our Cloud Code IDE plugins with Cloud Run, our fully managed container platform. This integration lets you write, debug, and run applications from your favorite development environment directly to Cloud Run. Novice users in our studies built and deployed an app on their first try in less than 5 minutes. It's so fast and easy, anyone can deploy multiple times a day. Cloud Run is serverless, so it manages infrastructure, security, and operations under the hood. It's also super cost-effective, auto-scaling to thousands of instances in just a few seconds, as well as down to 0 when there's no traffic. No traffic, no bill. Lastly, since it's based on containers, your code is portable. So ops and security teams can focus on establishing portable standards instead of chasing differences between environments. All right, now let's see this in action. We're going to pretend that I'm a budding developer. And with my newly found cloud coding skills, I want to create a used car registration site. Cloud Code is our starting point for developers. Here, I'm going to find a variety of templates in many different languages to create my app. We have templates for both Cloud Run and Kubernetes, as you can see. But note, I don't actually need to know anything about containers or Docker files. In fact, Kubernetes, what's that? For simple things, you may not need a template at all. In this case, I just want a code sample that returns a list in JSON to power my Cars API. So like any great developer, I'm going to Google it. Here I found a code snippet in my favorite language, Golang. Let's grab it and make a minor change to return car info. We can now test this code locally using the very handy built-in Cloud Run emulator. Here, you see the image is built, and now it's running on a local URL. Let's say we want to make a change and add another car listing, a Ford Focus, for example. Cloud Code detects the change, and it automatically restarts and deploys the service on code changes. Here's the update. Pretty slick, eh? Notice that these local containers were actually built without a Docker file. This is brand new in Cloud Code, and it's enabled by our support for build packs, which we are announcing in GA today. By the way, building and deploying with build packs, that also makes it easy for your security teams to validate and enforce what should run on the platform. Okay. We've tested the changes locally, and now we're ready to deploy the service to Cloud Run. We can initiate this here in Cloud Code. It's going to take a few minutes, but here's what's happening under the hood. First, Cloud Code connects to our cloud project. Second, it's building and pushing the container image to the registry. And finally, it's deploying the image to Cloud Run. At the end, our service is deployed, now to a cloud-hosted URL. We can also see it here in the Cloud Run UI. At this point, before pushing changes into production, we suggest that you set up a CICD pipeline. We've got you covered. We've integrated this step too directly in Cloud Run. All developers need to specify is the source repository and the build configuration to get this working. The integrated developer experience that we just demoed greatly increases agility. I want to pause now and say a word about security. Shifting left on security has to go hand in hand with accelerating developer velocity to ensure reliability. Remember the container that was pushed to the container registry? It was automatically scanned for vulnerabilities. Scanning is now available on demand, helping developers address issues earlier in the software lifecycle. This is a practice that's often employed by elite teams. Now, such an in-depth security posture, it isn't just limited to containers. With Artifact Registry, the evolution of our container registry, we now manage additional artifacts like Maven and NPM, languages and OS packages, along with Docker images. We've also added enterprise features such as customer-managed encryption keys, regional repositories, and VPC service controls, among others. Okay, let's go back to the demo and see what Camp has in store for the operator. The service we deployed earlier was very simple with basic CI/CD. So now let's fast forward and look at a more fully fleshed service that future Aparna has already developed. We see the service has a simple front end powered by our Cars API. As we update records in the UI, they get reflected in a Firestore database in real time. That's a nice choice. And we're securing this API with Google Cloud's new API gateway, which will be available in beta next month. By now, we've likely pushed and released several versions of this app. As an operator, I see a defect in the latest version, and it's resulting in a spike in request latency. Luckily, our development team has a fix, and we've set up our CICD pipeline to deploy it to Cloud Run, ready to roll out, but serving no traffic. Because as an operator, I want to perform a gradual rollout so that I can collect user feedback, verify the change in production, and only when it's safe, push it out to all users. Elite teams use this strategy to limit the blast radius of a change. To start the rollout in the UI, I can send just 10% of the traffic to the latest version. Then, looking back at our metrics, we see the latency issue is fixed for those 10% of users. Now that it's safe, I can safely roll out this improvement to 100% of my audience. Fast and reliable. This simplified Cloud Run experience isn't just restricted to cloud. It's actually available on-prem as well as part of Anthos. This is awesome if you're a hybrid enterprise. In fact, today I'm excited to announce that we are bringing a lot of new enterprise features to both Cloud Run and Cloud Functions, including private connectivity to your VPC and on-prem resources through serverless VPC access. Also, multi-region failover for higher reliability, and support for Cloud CDN for hosting assets at the edge, as well as a broader footprint through the addition of 12 new regions in just the past year. The end-to-end demo we saw showcases some of the ways Google Camp can help you modernize. Now you might be thinking, well, that's really impressive, but is developer agility a priority for enterprises? Let me share a customer example to bring this home. As shelter-in-place restrictions became common this spring, New York State's unemployment system saw a spike with never-before-seen volume in new unemployment claims. Modernizing the unemployment system quickly became a top priority. New York State then teamed up with Google Cloud's public sector team to roll out a new unemployment website. The team used the Spring Boot framework with our Spring Cloud GCP library to easily leverage managed services like PubSub, Data Store, Cloud Logging, and so on to modernize their app. In addition, the new website was built using Cloud Build for integrated CI/CD, in this case with the Google Kubernetes Engine runtime. As millions applied for unemployment, the new website was able to handle a 1,600% increase in web traffic compared to a typical week. New York State is a great example of how the tools and practices available as part of Google Camp can help you accelerate development securely and reliably when you need it most. Cloud Code, Cloud Build, Cloud Run, Artifact Registry, GKE, and Anthos, they work together to modernize both brownfield and greenfield applications. Google Camp can help optimize your DevSecOps teams with just the right tools for you. Now I'll hand it back to Pali to share how you can embark on this journey with Google Camp.
Thanks, Aparna. As you can see, we've created a comprehensive offering with Google Camp so you can get started with app modernization and join the ranks of elite performers. On our website, you'll find more information on our data-driven baseline assessment, along with the proven DevSecOps practices available to you as part of Google Camp. Finally, don't forget to attend the sessions linked below to learn more about how you can optimize for stability without sacrificing speed with our end-to-end tools for app development and modernization that Google Camp provides. Thank you for watching. All of us at Google Cloud look forward to partnering with you on your application modernization journey.